And Senator Kennedy.
Senator Kennedy is recognized.
I'm going to follow up, Mr. Director, on a point made by Senator Leahy. He talked about the massive voter suppression that he's expecting in 2022. Do your intelligence reports show there's going to be massive voter suppression in 2022?
I don't believe I characterized the voter suppression threat as massive, and I'm not aware of any intelligence assessment we've done that quantifies it. Certainly, voter suppression is a concern. It's something we investigate, something we pursue.
Okay. On the Nix database, where do you get the information for it?
For the Nix database? So a lot of sources, but most of the information is coming from state and local law enforcement.
Are they all sending in all the information they're supposed to?
We are continuing to improve that. The Fix Nix Act that Congress put in place has been a big help in that regard, and every year we're increasing the completeness of the Nix database, but there's still room for improvement.
Yeah, there's still a lot of holes in it, aren't there?
There are, yes.
Yeah. And the truth is, I mean, for some, I don't want to paint with too broad a brush, but my understanding is that for some, at the state and local level, it's just not a priority. It's not that they're sitting around watching Netflix. They're busy doing other stuff. Would that be a fair statement?
Well, I understand why you would describe it that way. I've got to be a little bit careful to characterize our partners as distracted. But I will say that I've gone out to Nix and put on the headset and sat there with the operator, listened to the calls, and see how it works. And some of these things, especially when you start getting into misdemeanor domestic violence offenses and things like that, it can get kind of complicated. And if the records out in whatever jurisdiction it is aren't ready at hand or clear, it can become a real challenge. And that was magnified during the pandemic, because a lot of departments, local departments, were not at work, and so that.
Well, I read about the president and others saying, well, the problem is we need to expand background checks, and it just seems to me that a big part of our problem, nothing's perfect, of course, but a big part of our problem is that the current system we have is only as good as the information inputted. And all the information isn't being inputted. It's just not. And I think Fix Nix did help. And I think it's better, but I don't think it's well. And it would seem to me that that would be a logical place to start. Is my thinking faulty?
I don't think your thinking is faulty. I think we all share the goal of keeping guns out of the hands of those legally prohibited from having them, which should be the table stakes in this endeavor, and that's what the Nix system is designed to do. To the extent that the holes that you identified are holes in different agencies and departments, patchwork around the country, I would be remiss if I didn't point out that some of them may need, grant funding or resources to help them, because it may be a resource issue for them.
As I say, I'm not suggesting they're just sitting around watching Netflix. They're working. They've been cussed and discussed and accused of everything in the world, and their budget's been cut, and then we wonder why crime goes up. But so I'm not criticizing them. I'm just pointing out that it seems to me that the system is only good as the data that's put into it. Let me ask you a final question. I just want your opinion on this. Why do you think Chicago's become the largest outdoor shooting range in the world?
Well, I think I've referenced a lot of the factors from a national perspective. I don't know that I can, sitting here right now, give you a Chicago-specific explanation, but certainly some of those same trends that I described nationally would undoubtedly be at play in Chicago. I know that, over the past year, we've had, 200, this is just the FBI now, 270 gang arrests in Chicago, 150 maybe violent crime arrests, and that's just in the past year or so. And I know that our partners there, we have some great partners in Chicago, Police Department, among other agencies, and they're all stretched pretty thin.
Thank you, Mr. Director.
Thank you.
Senator Kennedy, thank you. If there's no further questions to be asked this afternoon, the senators have until June the 29th to submit additional questions for the subcommittee's official hearing record. We request that the FBI respond within 30 days. The subcommittee stands in recess.